Tonight,
they see what's happening. You know, there's a movement going on. People are tired of incompetent politicians.
despite attacks from the media, Donald Trump continues to surge in the polls.
And welcome to Hannity Tonight. Despite attacks from the liberal media, Donald Trump continues to surge in the polls. Two new polls show that Donald Trump has a sizable lead heading into the first GOP primary debate. He leads with 25% in the new Reuters poll, which is more than double Jeb Bush, who comes in second with 12%. Now, Trump also has an edge in the new Quinnipiac University poll with 20% compared to Governor Scott Walker's 13% and Jeb Bush's 10%. Joining us now, author of The Queen, the Epic Ambition of Hillary, and the Second Coming, and the Coming of a Second Clinton Era, nationally syndicated radio host Hugh Hewitt, and the Washington Times' Charles Hurt. Hugh, I know you've been a bit of a critic of Donald Trump. I would think, though, knowing you as much as I know you, that you understand where this is coming from, that he is speaking his mind. He's politically incorrect. He's bringing attention to issues in a way that Republicans have been far too weak and timid to deal with. I'm sure you get that aspect of it, right?
Oh, I do. And I was very critical of the comments about Senator McCain, Sean. But I will say this, and I think it's true about everyone in the race on both sides of the aisle and of all the presidential candidates for the past many years. Donald Trump is the only one about whom it is likely there will be a Broadway musical made. And that's what he is. He is actually, I've never said that before, but it occurred to me on vacation. I've been on vacation for a couple of weeks. He's vastly entertaining. I got an email from him 2 days ago. I asked him to be on my show tonight when I'm back from vacation. And he sent me a fax note. Hugh, can't do it. I'll do it next week. I'm in England at Turnberry, parens, which I own, close parens, watching the ladies' British Open. And I thought, well, that's so Donald. And he's endlessly entertaining. And today he told the a Washington Post focus group that Chris Cillizza reported on, said that the focus group told John Heilman of Bloomberg, he's most like us. Now, he's a billionaire. He's actually not like many of us at all.
But that's not what they're talking. They're not talking about the money. They're talking about outspoken. When you're with your friends, do you monitor your every word? Has it been prepared by some political advisors? You know, he's raw, he's real, it's genuine, it's authentic and refreshing in this day and age of politically pre-calculated sound bites. That's what they're saying. They're not talking about how much money he has.
I agree with that. I'm skeptical that it won't last. I don't think it'll last, but I'm skeptical.
But Hugh,
of
I think you've hit on something that's very important about what is driving Donald Trump. It is his creativity. He is an enormously creative guy, and he's very good at marketing, and he thinks of new ways of marketing his campaign. And you know what? It works, and it's a breath of fresh air in politics because nobody else is doing it. I don't know if you saw the story out today where Donald Trump is going to take his private helicopter out to the Iowa State Fairground, and he's going to give free rides to any child seen wearing a Make America Great Again cap. Now, you know, you can say it's hooey, you can say it's goofy, but it's brilliant, and so these kids don't.
You watch. There's going to be some liberal group that sues, say he's trying to buy votes with helicopter rides.
I'm sure the government's going to step in and say that he's not allowed to do it. Yeah. But the point is that he gets it, and he's not ashamed of the fact that he's a billionaire. He's taking that and using it as an advantage. You know, and he knows what appeals to people.
Hugh, let me say this to you because I thought Mary Matlin's always been a sharp political advisor, consultant, somebody that observes media really well. She said that every Republican ought to learn from Donald Trump. And I agree with her. I want to see that level of energy. I want to see the scripts get thrown to the side a little bit. I want to see some genuine passion about getting the country back on the right track, helping out those millions of Americans out of the labor force in poverty and on food stamps. And we're going to take out ISIS, and this is how we're going to do it. That boldness needs to be there if the Republicans want to win.
Not only should every Republican learn from him, every broadcaster should, because he's the blocking tackle of 2016, right? He's clearing out everything. Now, he makes mistakes. I think he made mistakes with the Mexican remark. He made a terrible mistake by talking about Senator McCain being a captive. He doesn't like people who get captured. He's got to apologize for that. At the same time,
that issue's dead.
But don't you think don't you think that if he had it to do over again, he might have refined some of those statements?
Yes.
But to his credit, I happen to agree with you, Sean. To his credit, I think he just says, okay, I'm going to move on from this. I wish I'd said it differently, but I'm going to move on from it, and I'm not going to sit here and wring my hands and apologize and try to kowtow to people.
And
you know who he's most like, guys? He's most like Teddy Roosevelt, another son of New York. And Teddy Roosevelt would occasionally say extraordinary things that got him into trouble, but he'd also back up when he did. And I hope he reads a couple of the Roosevelt biographies, because I'd love him to run for mayor of New York against de Blasio in a couple of years. Wouldn't you like that, Sean?
I think he'd be, if he followed through on his promises and was serious about governing, I think he could be a great leader, because I think he's inspiring a lot of people, and especially people that are tired, including me, of Republicans being weak. I'm so sick of it. All right, let me ask this. He dealt with two controversies this week. He dealt with the Daily Beast, the Ivana Trump. That was dead and buried within 12 hours. A tribute to him, tribute to his ex-wife and his family. And the second one was the New York Times going after him, which, bringing up a lawsuit that he won and even got lawyers' fees for, about a woman pulling out a breast pump in the middle of a deposition, and he said this is disgusting. Do you think, isn't this a lesson maybe for the other Republicans, as all of the garbage is piled on them by the media, Charles? Just blow it off.
Absolutely, and it's amazing how every scandal that Democrats skate through scandals all the time and they just move right on. Republicans get mired down in them, and they can't. It's like kelp. They can't get out from under it, and they spend weeks hand-wringing and apologizing and trying to be something different. But this guy just, like you say, he just keeps walking right on through it, walking through the smoke and the fire, and doesn't let any of it alter his focus on the vision that he is trying to convey, and he does a very good job of conveying it in those simple terms that people see and people understand his vision, and so they forgive him for
if that research this week didn't bring him down. I guarantee you, both the Daily Beast and the New York Times both thought they had him, Hugh. They thought this was over this week.
They did, but what he's got to do is start helping the Republican Party. He's got to go after Hillary now, Sean.